Hello and welcome to the first Jupyter X crash course. Nothing like this has ever been done before. My name is Afshin, and I'm your new Jupyter X master, and I want you to be like me, or at least try. I've been a Jupyter user for more than 5 years, and I've made many websites using this theme for my clients. I have gone through versions 4, 5, 6, and now I'm the master of Jupyter X. My real expertise is branding, so I hate coding as much as you do. In this video, I'm going to walk you through steps of building a WordPress landing page for a restaurant using Jupyter X from A to Z without a single line of code. And by the way, I've also included a post on Artbees blog, and I've included some tips on what to have and not to have on your restaurant webpage. Make sure you read it. Okay, let's get started. Okay, people, here we are. This is the landing page that we're going to make for the restaurant. Now, if you have a restaurant, you need everything to work perfectly for you. For example, you should have a gorgeous giant photo of, whatever that you're serving in your restaurant, and then you will have a big slogan saying hot and spicy food, specialty of foods. And then, you have this small thing here, and then you have a bit more explanation, and then you have the specifics. By the way, these are the floating, food items here. We will come to that in the tutorial. They're nice and fun. So we have the specifics of the restaurant, why you have to come and try our restaurant, and then here we have the history of the restaurant, what happened before, and when did it start, and what's going on. You see these fun things happening here. And then there's the menu section. The menu section is very important because we have actually what we're selling is there. We're showcasing the product basically. It's like a portfolio, if you will. And then we actually use a tabulated version here, as you can see. And since this is a mock website, we only have one tab that repeats itself. But you can actually have different food items on each of these tabs. And then lower we have the review section. Hugh Jackman visited our restaurant multiple times in different disguises, and actually liked our restaurant so much that he repeated that to see if our service is consistent, and he gave 5 stars all the way. And then we have our partners, our providers, and then we have our open hours, as you can see, a very important part of the page. And again, as we come lower, we can have the reservation. So if you are on this page and you like our restaurant, you have a way to actually make a reservation. It's very easy. It's a form and an image. And here we have a footer. But then again, there's something that is very important to notice. This is a one-pager. It's just one page. You don't go anywhere. So if you click here, it just will scroll down here. It's really nice because it has everything on one page, and you don't have to wait for a refresh, and those boring loading times. So it's pretty straightforward, I guess, huh? We can do it, right? Let's start. Okay, here we are. We have installed our WordPress, and then we have activated Jupyter X, and then we've updated it to the 1.7.0, the latest version. Now we're going to go and set up the essentials of our website from Customizer. So you open the Customizer. As you can see, you have the website on the right, and you have the left sidebar for your options. Here you can go through many options to actually change the way your website works or looks in the whole, as in globally. So you go here, as you can see, you can actually change the name of your web page or the tagline that you need to work. And the logos are here. You can upload your logo. You have a primary logo, and you can have a secondary logo. The reason you need two logos, at least two logos on a web page, is that you might have light or dark backgrounds. So you actually would be better off if you had two logos that would be used in different backgrounds. Then we have the site settings. You can see that it's full width, and then you have 1140 pixels. You can have the scroll top button off or on, and you basically, that's it. And the menus. So we have a navigation menu ready here, but we're gonna make another one in the tutorial. You can choose which menu to use, and then the fonts. These are the system fonts, and they're always there. But then you can add your own fonts. Here we have Cret Round and then Poppins. And after you add these families, the font families, you can come here and then assign each part of your page a typography option. You see the body will be Poppins and it will be 16 pixels and the line height will be 1.88. And as you can see, it will be normal, not bold, not light or whatever. So this is the body. You come here, the links are here, the colors of the links, the hover, the normal one, and then you come here to you have your headings, the size. So it goes on like this. And after you got this one working, you basically need some other parts to work, like header. We will talk about this in detail. We have the title bar, and then you see the title bar is disabled, so we don't need titles or subtitles or breadcrumbs. And then we have the layout, footer, which is the same thing. We will come to it later in the tutorial. The blogs and portfolios are actually necessary when you're making a page that has inner pages. And then we have elements and export and import. Now, we discussed a file. You can actually download it on the blog. You can get that file and choose it here and import it. And then what happens is you will have all these settings done for you, prepared, working, and you will not need to go one by one. But I really want you to go through each of them and see what's happening on your webpage, because then you will understand what's going on and how to change it according to your own needs. So that's it about the essentials. So let's go build our first section. So you have two ways to make the menu. One is from the front end, one is from the back end. And we're going to use the back end one. So you just exit the customizer to the dashboard and you come to the appearance and then menus. As you can see, we have our primary menu here. It's ready, but I'm just going to show you how to create your own menu. So let's call it test and create it. So we have only one page. We can't add that to the menu. We need custom links. So we call it hashtag item 1, and then we write link 1 for the text, and then we add to the menu. So if you save this, you'll have your menu here. So this is how you make one-pager menus. You just write the hashtag. We'll use this on the page as we're building it, and then you're gonna write then the name, the title of the link. So I will show you the navigation that we have actually created on our web page, and this is like that. See history, we have history, and then menu, hashtag menu, and then the menu as a text, and that's it. You just save it. So now that we have our menu, let's go and make our header. So here under templates, you have your save templates. We just made the menu. Now we're gonna make the header. Now guess what? Remember the menu we made? We're gonna put that inside the header. But with that, we need the logo and the call to action button, and also the phone number. So let's just make that header and start actually making our web page. So here on your save templates, you just add a new one, select header, and then call it test header, and then just create the template. You're gonna be given the option to import some of the ready-made, templates, but you can just close it and then start with your very own header. So you add a section here, very simply, just like that. and give it a padding. Also here, just we need all the objects to be vertically lined, and then also we want to make it flex so we can add it. We don't need to add many columns. So here we see the site logo element, and as you know, we have already added that. So it's a primary, secondary, sticky, and mobile. You can choose it from the customizer. In the customizer, we've added already. Now we're using that logo. So then we continue by adding a spacer so that our elements don't get inside each other. Don't get cramped. We don't want our website to look cramped, especially our header. Now we will have a menu, and then just add it right under the spacer. As you can see, this happened. It's almost seamless, as you can see. So here we talked about those menus that we created. It's the test menu. If I click test, it will only have link 1, but I'm using the menu called navigation, which has all these others that we were going to use. So we want to style it a bit so that it looks the way you want it. Let's give it some space, like this much. It won't be this much at the end because it will be pushed, and depending on what kind of screen you're using, it will be different. And I see that it's a bit too tight from top and low, so we're gonna easily just add this. And see, now we have a space there. I will actually go here, and as you can see, the normal, we want it to stay normal, but for the hover, we want it to show something so that the user understands what's going on. So we have our accent color FF5600. So now when I do this, see, it reacts and shows me some orange color, which I know which one I am on, and I can actually click on it. Also, we need to change the typography a bit to just give it some weight so that it's a bit stronger, as you can see. And maybe we should have the letters a bit distance, like maybe 4.4. Yeah, this is better. This is pretty much what we have to do. So we need to add another spacer right under the menu, but because this is a dynamic element, it just understands what it has to do and just goes and finds its own place. So now we have it here. Now what we have here is a text, so you can just add this, and you see, don't panic, it's just big. So we give the area code 555, and then, or 800 or something, like, yeah. So then we go like I don't know, 555-0456, like the movies, they have all these 555 numbers. I could have added another spacer, but just I wanted to be easy, so I just give it some margin on the right so that it will have some space for the button that we're going to add there. Now, other than that, as you can see, it's a bit like out there. It doesn't match the looks of the header, so we just have to adjust it. Now the easy way to adjust it is like add a padding from the top as much as necessary, but let's say 15. If we add more, see what happens, it will just push everything down, but I guess 15 is enough. Even 10 would be enough, but let's go with 15. And then basically we just don't need to do anything else. So now we're going to add a button. So this is really pretty straightforward. See, we have logo, we have spacers, we have a menu, we have another spacer, we have a text, and then I'm going to add the button. So we have here our button, So the button doesn't say what we want it to say. So let's just first make it look the way we want it. Okay, that's not what we want it to say. Make a reservation. Huh? This is nice. It's looking good. And here I just know it that we have to say reservation for the hashtag. You know, that's an address on the page. So let's come to the styling of the link. Okay, by the way, you can just add some effect like this. So when you hover, something happens. These are really good in terms of, you know, user experience, because they give the visitor, the user, some sense of control over the website. They see that the website reacts to what they're using, and so we need a specific width, and then also we're going to give it a 50 pixel height, and pretty much it, right? So what I'm going to do here is also I'm going to edit text a bit. So it's a bit, you know, bigger than I want it. So 14 is good. And let's give it a bit of line height so that it's like, you know, it's bigger. Yeah, that's better, I guess. And now I'm happy with the result, I guess, right? So I'm not going to change it in the hover, but then there's something. So as you can see, text color is white. So we want it to be black. We actually want our background to be white. But then again, how is someone gonna understand this is a button? They're gonna give it a border. See, 1. And the color is, of course you guessed it, our accent color. So it is FF5600. And voila. So if you see, this is almost good. So we need to do some other stuff here, and it's the box shadow. So this also helps, you see, to, you know, in the hover. Of course we need it in the hover, not the normal one. So just undo it easily, just set it to defaults. So we have this. See, when I go over it, it does that thing with the hover, and you know, it does everything we want. Let's just see how this looks. We can preview here. Okay, I'm happy. I think it's good. Let's just go ahead and publish it, huh? So I'm just gonna update this. Okay, we just made our header. Now, the next thing that we're gonna do is to make our hero. The name says it all. It's the hero. It will save your day, your web page. It should be big, impressive. It should catch the attention of the people who see your web page for the first time. So let's make it that way, huh? Stick with me. Now to create the body, you have to go to Pages and then add a new one. So first of all, we call it Home 2. And then there are a few things that we have to do. Has to go with the full width. Layout will be no sidebar. And also on the title bar, we'll just disable it. No, we just don't want any side title bar. Just publish it. So let's just go and edit it. Okay, so this is our page. It's empty and it's ready for us to create. So before anything, basically, you have to add your section here. So we need a full section. As you can see, it's the full screen, and then we just go ahead and add a background photo for this section. It's here, right here. Yes, this is the one. We add that. Position center right. And we don't touch that one. We'll say no repeat to this. Means if the photo is not big enough, you can't repeat it, and then you just choose this one, and then here you set it to, you know, as big as you want, but you know, for this purpose we need 35. Let's just go ahead and add our text elements. So we will add a headline here, and then we will also add a heading right above that, and then we're also going to have a body paragraph basically. So I just add a text editor right below here, right? Okay, it's pretty much, you know, pretty straightforward. So what we will do is we actually will type it out, and so I say discover your taste. Okay, so remember the settings we set in the essentials? If you just go ahead and make it H3, look, it just happened there. I don't need to do anything, it just shows itself. And on this one, we need to say hot and spicy. Who wrote these things? Why spicy? I don't know. Hot and spicy. So yeah, hot and spicy foods. And then specialty of foods. Yeah, so this is an H2. We're gonna go ahead and make it H1. This is the only H1 we have. So as you can see, our text is left, and the content should not have any decorative elements. Like, so remove this. I don't need any icons, and well, that's it basically. So you see, this is really amazing. You just write two parts of text here and they just get two different colors. I'm not going to change the text here. Some padding from right to make it a bit, you know, let's just make it 500. Yeah, like this. This is what I'm talking about. And then also add some padding from the below so that it will add some place for the button that we're going to create. Well, I guess that's it. We don't need anything else to do here, right? We need some space below and above this part. Let's just go ahead and give some padding from the top to this main section. So I'm going to go ahead here, and yeah, this is, I'll disable this one. So let's say from the top we need around 150 pixels. Let's just increase it to 65, 165. And below, we need a little bit more than that, 195 to be, you know, 30 pixels more. So that we give enough space for this part to speak for itself. And by the way, we also need a button here. So we're gonna add this button. And it's just simple, right? Pretty simple. By the way, so as you know, we added some padding here, the 35 from the button. Button is for the button not to get inside this, you know, section and make it cramped, make it look cramped. So let's just add button. See, most of the things are just drag and drop. Let's just leave this as this, and then change it to discover more. And I'm gonna call this discover. So I'm gonna show you where we're gonna use this. So this button is also the same color as the other button that we had It doesn't do anything special when you hover over it, but the color of it is, as you can see, are orange. So this is the orange. We need it to be a little bit taller, like maybe 50-ish. It's too much. Let's just make it 50. And then also we want it to be a bit wide, like 195. We just have some shadow. And you just make it a bit, you know, softer, like this. So now it just does something small and very, you know, soft. So let's just add something more to it so it shows itself. And then this one. And then, yeah, you see, it just comes to life. Voila, it's beautiful. So about the text, we really don't need to do a lot. Just let's make it a bit heavier, yeah, and also a bit bigger, maybe 16. Yeah, that's more like it. Also, the button in the template was like a bit more oval, so we almost have it, right? Close this and look at it. Well, it looks beautiful. It's nice. I guess we're done here. So before continuing, let's just update and save our work. And now move on to the next part. Okay, we have the hero. It's big, impressive, and it has a shrimp on it. So let's make the body. It comes after the hero section, and it includes more details. Actually, it includes all the details about our restaurant. Now we have the details part, the intro section, which tells people why and how we're great. And then it goes on to the history section, which tells people how we became this great place, you know, with this young chef. I mean, he's like 25 years old or something. So then we continue with the food menu. It's an animated, beautiful menu that people love to see, and they want to order all the Japanese food from this Italian restaurant. And then we continue down to our raving reviews from you, Jackman, which loved our restaurant, as I said before. And then it's the partners. Why our food tastes great is because we have good partners. They give us good products. And then, as I said, we have to have the times that they can come and see our restaurant. And finally, they can make reservations in our system. You know, we have our own reservation system, which makes best. So let's just go on and make the body, right? I mean, without a body, we don't have a web page. Let's go. So what's going to happen next is we're going to have the intro section or specifics section. Okay, let's add our section first. So again, you see one of these, and we need one of these things. So I have two options. One is I can actually add one more, or I can really duplicate this one. Doesn't really matter. So when I duplicate it, I can actually grab and then put it right here. So we have two of those. The only difference is we now have edge 2. This guy is in the middle, and we'll just have some different text here. So I'm gonna go ahead and say, and then continue. So we have to change the colors, obviously. The first part needs to be black, and the second part actually has to be the color we wanted, the accent color we use all over the website. For some reason it didn't work. FF5600. Okay, so this is it. We have it. We have our little section. So we need some space, and then we will continue adding other material, other elements. So I'm gonna go ahead and give this guy a bit of padding from below. So this is 50 pixels. Great. So the next section has like 3 columns. We're going to add 3 columns here. So for that, we need an intersection. And so it has 2 by default. You just make it 3. Needs to have some paddings. So let's make it 50, 45, 100, and then 40. Now let's just delete these guys and duplicate it so that we don't have to do that over and over again. So we add an image box. So we add the first photo, which is these guys. Insert the media. Okay, so it's almost done basically. So instead of the headline, we say delicious food. So let's move to style. So spacing should be 25 instead of 15. And width is okay. I mean, I would leave it that way. It can just bounce in when we move in. Look, this is what happens. It comes to life. It's beautiful. Let's just go to the content and make the spacing 25. And we also have to edit typography. So let's just make the title a bit bigger. You know, make it a bit lighter. Very teeny weeny. Very, you know, little. And now let's come to the description part. We want another font here. We use Poppins. And we give the size 16. And it's normal weight. So I don't want to do that all over again. So I just duplicate it. And then another duplicate. And just, we'll change the photo. We'll change the image here. And we'll have the next one. So now all I need to do is to, you know, just change this text here. Okay, that's great. We almost have it. Now, remember the thing that we did there? I want to give this place a class ID called discover, and then just update. Let's see what happens here. Yay, we have that. It just does this. I love to play with it. Okay, so let's check the template. Okay, so far it looks good. Now there's just one thing that is missing here. Now, as you can see, these things, these columns do show a hover effect, and also they're left aligned, and I forgot that. So let's just do that. It's very straightforward. It's very easy. We go to hover. We make a solid 1, and then we make it invisible. Let's just set it to 20, and then set this to 50, and then make this just the right amount. So it's like, yeah, let's just copy this for the next columns. So now it's working pretty awesome. So let's just go to the next one and update. So now it should work actually. It should do a good hover effect exactly as we intended it to. Yes, it's working. Now I'll adjust them to the left, towards the left. Then we're done. I guess this is, you know, exactly same as the website. So the text here is a bit shorter. So I'm gonna leave it like that because, you know, who cares? All right, so now we're gonna create the history section. You need 2 columns, and let's just adjust the ratio to 55. It's always a challenge. 55 to 45. So we need 2 columns. So make sure to put this here so that it doesn't really mess up with your work. And also we will just have a photo here. So let's just add this photo. It's an image. It's just simple. Let's just choose that image. Okay, it's this one. So we have that, right? So now let's add the other content here. So we have a headline. We have a heading first. And then let's say our history. Yes. We're gonna create this part. So that's so straightforward. Now we're gonna add a headline. Okay. Let's just edit it. I like it. So it's an H2. We just remove the icon. Don't need any icons. Let's go to styling. First of all, it's left oriented, and then we'll just change the colors. Okay. And now this part should be our accent color. So far so good, right? So we just need a text block or text editor, and after all of that we just need another intersection. So these intersections, this is a necessary intersection. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna add an image box. Okay, so we didn't need the title. Let's just first choose the icon to give us a context of what we're doing. I'm gonna insert this, and I'm gonna choose this, and I'm gonna make it this way. And let's just copy the text from here and put it here. Okay, so let's just go to styling and edit it. We need it to be soft like the one in the sample. I guess this is enough, right? I'm happy with the result, I guess. Yeah. So you can also make this happen. So if you do this, they'll look better. So let's just duplicate this as many as we need. Just gonna make it here. I'm gonna move this one to accompany it. And now I'm gonna change these photos, these images, to the thing that I want. Good thing they have these assets ready for me, so I don't need to really create these assets one by one. Okay, I believe we're done. Right? See, it's almost the same. It's actually exactly the same. So let's continue by making our menu section. Okay, so this is actually easier than it looks like. So let's just first add our section. Okay, so we need to add some space to this thing from top and bottom. I'm gonna give it 180 from the top, and 180 from the bottom. So I'm just gonna add a heading here and say offered menu, and then just go ahead and make it H3. I love this part, it just snaps right there, feels so good. Now we're gonna add, as the others, we're gonna add another headline. This time it is center, and I'm gonna write something like this. I'm not gonna write, actually, I'm just gonna copy the black part, and okay, and then just do this. So now we need some space before we add our tabs. Just add a spacer, and it's already 50. I think 50 pixels is enough. Okay, let's add a tabs element. And edit this. Let's just remove these guys and call this special. Another one. So we have this sorted out. Let's go to styling. First things first, this thing is centered and it has an invisible border. So let's come here and edit the typography. Let's set it to Poppins and give it the size 19 and weight 500. I think it's good. So let's give it some padding. 12, 45, 12, 45. Now here also we need to add a margin from right and left so that they have enough space. So here now we need to take care of the active mode of the tab. So I'm going to go ahead and make the background FFF5600. Yeah, because this is what we want. See, it says template is not defined. We're going to make that template right now. So let's just publish this much. So we created the tabs. Now we're going to create the template that we're going to show here for one of these tabs. But we're going to use them. We're going to use it for all of the tabs. So what happens here is we have, you know, this one, like this movement, and we have the photo of the food dish, the photo of the dish, and also we have this action. So as you remember, I told you that when we click here, we set it on template, but then we can choose one of the templates. So if I choose header, it's going to show our header here. Doesn't matter whatever we do. So I'm just going to create a new one so that you can easily see what's going on here. So it's just as simple as creating a header or any other page. Let's just create our column and make sure it's stretched, it's full width, and also we don't want any gaps between the columns. And yeah, now I think it's ready to add our first animated box. So you see it does this. It has two sides. We don't need the icon, you know, because it's an empty front. Only a background and nothing else. And the back side, we're gonna tell them a different story. $5 seafood rolls, Japanese food. So we don't need the button, and obviously we don't need the link. Now in the settings, just like set it on to slide down like this, and then set this on division and this one on H3. This is for this SEO of the website. And here, so since we have two of these in the same column, we're gonna do this. We're gonna give it a vertical height of 50. It means 50% of the whole vertical height available. And now let's come and choose backgrounds. We just need a photo here. Beautiful. So now we have the photo. Okay. Now for the back of the box, we need the same photo, but then we need something called an overlay. So we're gonna have overlay here. Again, you have to choose the back side and give it the background. Let's call it this much and give it the opacity of maybe 0.7. Yeah, maybe more, like 8. So let's come and edit the properties of this text. So the first one is the title. As you can see, it's orange and it's a different font. So title color, first of all, is our accent 5600. I think you've memorized it like me. And then here we have to choose, it's pretty straightforward. We have Poppins or, you know, round. I think 19 would be enough. Yeah, let's make it a bit bolder. I think that's enough. Now we come to the subtitle this time, and now we're going to edit its properties. So the color obviously is white. And then we just give it round family 38-ish, yes. Now we want it to be uppercase, so this is this part, and then we have the description part. We talk about Japanese food section. So we come to back, click white, and then let's just choose Poppins again. I believe if we give this a size 16, that'll be alright. So there we go. We have our first animated column. So if I just duplicate this, so I have two. We have to make this 0 so that they stick. Also on this one and this one. So all you need to do is now duplicate this again. Just move it and drop it here. Now see, as I said, the middle one was bigger. So you just click on the edit, style. Now let's make this 100%. And now we have this. The problem with this photo that is repeating is that can't cover the whole thing. So the middle picture was the sushi. And let's just choose that. Background should change to our sushi rolls. Okay, so it should cover also for the back. So notice that all of them say the same thing. Let's just make this cover. So this one, forgot to do this. Okay, also for the back. Okay, let's just choose the photos for these. very fast. Different photos for each section. Oops, doesn't matter. I can actually do this. Yeah. So let's just duplicate this and carry it here and duplicate it once more. So we have our, look, this is what we have now. Go ahead and change the photos, the text and titles and descriptions and everything. It's going to be exactly like this. Okay, so we created this. Now let's just take a look at it. Okay, it seems okay. It says seafood. All of them say seafood, but you can just change the description. Now let's go back to our home and let's just click here, and for this guy let's just check. Yes, this is our template. Now you see it just shows up. Just shows up, and you know, we can actually do the same thing for breakfast section and then choose this template, and you see, just like that. So let's just go ahead and choose offered menu, template that was already there from the beginning. I'm gonna choose it for all of them. Okay, so now you have a working tab section which is acting like our menu. Let's just update and save our work so far. So next in line is the testimonials section. Now for the testimonials part, you just add a section and then add testimonials element. Okay, so we have this. Let's adjust the options first. Now if you, for example, go like 4 testimonials, it's going to show 4 of them all together. If you go like 3, it's going to show 3. And it's going to scroll between them. Now we have 1, and we want navigation arrows, and we don't want dots. Don't want people to use that. And here we use arrow, and then here also we use arrow, and I guess we're done here. So I'm gonna remove these and then edit this one so that it looks a bit more like the ones in the template that we're trying to rebuild. So let the name be there. I want it to look more natural. Also we want the rating to be there. And then also you see we have the right icon, and also let's add an image. Okay, so as you can see, it's a bit cramped, like it's up there, and we have to give it some space. Let's just give it 150 pixels. Is it enough? Let's check. So I guess a bit more. Let's make it 170. Okay, now it's pretty much what we need it to be. So let's come to the style section. We want it to be equal. The image, first of all, has to be 70 by 70. Let's just give it a border like this. The color of the border is white. All right, this was 70. Okay, this one has to be around 50 so we get this circular look here. And we wanted to have some breathing space, so I'm going to disable this one and give 30 pixels. So now you see it's separated from the top. Also give it a box shadow. You can make it blurrier. Okay, it looks more like it now. Let's just add a bit more spread to it. I guess 5 is okay. Yeah. All right, then while we're at it, we can do this just in case. So arrows. We don't need to do many things here. We just have to do this. And then we have to change the style of the arrow. So the background will be empty like this. This one should be our accent color. Oh, let me just go ahead and create some items here. We can just duplicate this one. Now we're gonna have arrows. Okay. We can see as we're editing. So I'm just gonna make this disappear. And let's just make it a bit bigger, yeah. Also give this one 100. So this is the distance between this section, I mean this end of this column and the arrow. So this is kind of necessary because you want it to be beautifully packed. I guess we're done with the arrows. We don't have dots. We actually disabled them. Okay, let's just change the icon color. See, it changes this one. And let's adjust the size of this. Okay, I guess we can just give it a bit of margin so that it gives enough space to that photo. We're done with the icon. Okay, title. We don't need to do anything with the title, I guess. That's correct. Let's go to comment section. So first things first, we have to make the text black, and also we have to change the typography. So it's Poppins 16 and weight should be normal. Now we want to see all of it like here. So just give it like some space. Let's make it 660. And then the background, we don't want any background behind the text, so just bring it down here and that's it. This is a bit boring, I know, but there are lots of moving parts here and we need to make sure that each and every one of them have been taken care of correctly. So again, we need to change the font here and we need to make it a tad bigger, like this. 30 will be enough. And let's just make it bold so it's the name of the person who left the comment. So now the position. The position, we need the color to be black. Well, it is black. So again, we need it to be Poppins. And we need to be 16. So we don't have date. We have only rating, and the colors for rating are okay. We don't need to change them actually. You can actually change them if you need to. We'll just make the stars a bit smaller. Yes, and we will give them less space. And don't touch anything else. Voila! We just created our own testimonial section. Let's just save our work here and move on. Okay, now we're gonna add the brands that we work with. Maybe the people who provide our you know, salad dressing or the meat that we buy or whatever. So let's just start with adding our headings and headlines. So this is here. I'm gonna add a headline and put it here. Okay, and then we are gonna add the brands. These are the brands. We're gonna have it. Don't worry, it looks ugly now, but through the video we just make it look good. In the settings, you just make it H3, and then it's beautiful. So let's just change the content to workflow. Now let's move on to this guy, and I'm gonna, yeah, that's H2. It's good. Let's just remove the icon. You can actually say none, and then yeah, it's gone. Just like this. We're working with. We just need to change the first part and the second part. So just make it black, and then move to the second part and make this guy orange. Okay, looking good. So we need some space between this guy and this guy. So I'm saying guy, but I really don't care. It could be also a lady. Anyway, these people need some space here. So let's just give it from the button. Let's give him like a 50 pixel space. So let's just first choose the, you know, the logos for the brands, and then the second one. Is that this one? Okay. We don't want any name here. Just remove this and make it like item. Let it show item. And you can actually remove this so that it doesn't become a link. Or if you have the link, you can actually include it here. So now we have these guys. Okay, so let's just create 2 more and then change them. So it looks a bit odd. The reason is that these are left aligned. Now it's good. See, now it looks good. Also, if you notice here, this section is a background. So I'm going to add that background to here. And let's find this photo. It would be a little difficult. Is it this one? Yeah. So now we have it. See, it's already looking good. Yeah, only here it's not the full thing. So let's just first remove this. And I'm gonna come here and use that same photo for the background on this one. Now it's better, yes. This is exactly as our example. Since we don't have any other elements here, just logos, we're almost done here, like completely done. I don't see anything else that we have to do here. Okay, so let's just create another section. Let's call it, this is for this section. Now we're building this part. We're gonna put our open hours here. So if I just duplicate this and add it here, no one is going to be unhappy with me. Just need to remove the bottom padding and actually add it to the top. I'm going to do it like 100. And then we'll say open hours. We don't need to do anything else. Now here we'll have to add an intersection because we want to do some fun stuff here. Let's just remove one of them. Okay, now we have the whole column. So these are the things that we need here. An icon. I'm gonna use Jupyter's very own icon. We're gonna change this. So let's just type time or clock. Yeah. Okay, so it's clock now. We'll change the color and give it our accent. Don't touch the size, don't touch anything, it's just right in that size. We're gonna add headings. Let's just make this duplicate it, and then duplicate it. I could actually do some stuff before duplicating it, but anyway. So this is an H2 element, and the content would be Monday, or let's say like this, Friday, and just make it, yeah. So the size of this has to change. Let's make it 40. Okay, that's good. Not gonna touch anything else. Let's move to the next one. Next one has to say 9 to 18. This one has a different font, as you can see. Let's just change it to Poppins and make it a bit smaller, 32. Yes, that's correct. Here we have the same thing. This time it says Saturday to Sunday we are off. So I just need to make it like this and then make it 40 and I'm done. And here it says closed. This is also the middle. The font is Poppins, and I think it's 32. Yeah, something happened, something weird. 32. Okay, now we want this to do some movement when we are hovering over it. To do that, we come to the style and we come to hover not here, sorry. We come to the border and then we come to the hover. And then we create a box shadow here on hover. Like this. And then just give it a vertical nudge. And let's make it blurrier. Let's first try it. Yeah, it's working. It's nice. We're getting there. I think I'm good. So we just created this part as well. And finally, we're coming to the part we create the reservation. In the reservation part, we have, again, the same things as here. We also have a form and an image. So let's just, again, create our section. And it's very close, so let's give it some kind of space. So we don't need a lot of space here because white space mostly. I'm just gonna give it 130. Yeah, I'm happy with the result. And I'm also I want the lower part of the website to also have some space. So I'm gonna add these guys. So what do we have here? We have the headline and the heading. So let's just add these elements. So let's add our headline. I've actually used the same from here. I just wanted to create another one. So here it says we are energetic. A pretty irrelevant thing to say on a restaurant page. Make sure you change this on your real restaurant page. I mean, it's fun. We're energetic, but then let's just say, let's book table. You shouldn't have left this to me. I'm a dangerous person. I change stuff. Okay, let's book a table. As I said, no icon. Okay, I guess it's done. So let's just give it some space from the bottom. Not much. 30 pixels or something. 30 pixels or something. And then we're gonna add our next part. This is an inner section because we need 2 columns. So I'm gonna add an image here. Let's just change the image really fast. Yes, we're done. Also, let's just make this middle. Okay, and now I'm just gonna add a form. Okay, this looks nothing like the one we have here, but it doesn't matter, really. We're gonna make it work. So we have full name, it's required. So we make it required. Let's move on to the next one. Change this to working email. And while we're at it, we will add, instead of this message, we say phone number. And then we make this number. See, this is how it's working. Let's add another item and make it and call it reservation date. Let's just make it capital. Okay. Pretty usual stuff. So we have the form. Now it looks like the form that we want. So far it's good. So you don't want it to say send the button. We want it to say make reservation. Okay, that's good. The other settings, you don't need to do anything. And then the custom message, if you enable this, so instead of this, it will say like, thanks, your reservation had been received. And then you can say like, please check for errors, required. Okay. So let's move on to the style. First thing that we have to do is to give it some space. So let's just make it like this. And this. That's general. Now the labels are black, or are they? Let's just check. Yes, now they are black. So now we're gonna give it a bit of a space between the label and the box. See, that's better. It's all about the spaces. You have to let the elements breathe. You don't want the people who are looking at your website to feel claustrophobic. It's a real problem in some web pages. You see that. Okay, so let's just give it a very slight gray. Okay, and make this like this. It's looking good, huh? Here we have the placeholder, and it is these guys. So we need to make them a bit different. We need to add some padding to them. Disable this. So I'll have 9 and 15 and 9 and 15. See, now there's space between that part. Should make it like a bit maybe wider. I'm happier right now. I like it more. Now we have the button here to edit. So button is set by percentage. We're gonna switch it to the pixel, and then we're gonna make it reasonably wide. That'll be like this much, and then let's give it some height. That's too much. Good. I'm also going to edit the typography. Yeah, that's much better. So let's check the, okay, we need also this one to work for us. So it has a border. We don't need a border here. You could actually say none and just solve the problem altogether. We need this one to work for us, and then also background. We will give it our accent color. Great, that's it. Yeah, I think this is done. We forgot one little thing. Okay, let's just go back to phone number so that we just make it tell, and now that's it. Yes, we forgot to do that. And that's working. We're done here. Let's update this one. So if we do footer, if we make footer, it will be over. So before we continue, I have to say I forgot this part. Like, we need to do something for, we need to change the background. Let's just go and choose a background picture for that section. I believe that would be this one. I see it repeats. I will say put it on the right center. And I would say do not repeat. And I would have the background. So also we have these guys, these fun looking side images that just, you know, bounce around when we're, you know, working on the web page. To do that, let's just go ahead and create a section here and then make it full width, and let's just carry it to this third from top. Yes, now it's there. Let's drop my image. We need a navigator now. Let's just drop the image element. As you can see, it's so big. Let's just choose the content and work with that. So in settings, obviously there's nothing important to do, but here in the parallax scroll, we need to make it -150. So it's gonna move on. So, and then let's just make it a bit faster, because we want it to be seen as we move the mouse around the page. So now just needed to set where we want it to sit, and so we give it the absolute positioning. Okay, let's offset it by this much so that we can see it up there, right? And also let's do this. Want to go as low as possible. All right. Let's see where it is. Yes, you see it's moving now. Okay, let's add those other icons. So let's just duplicate it from here. Now let's change this to the second thing that we see. It's a burger. Okay, I think we're done with it. It's great. It looks good. I'm happy. So let's just update and save our work. Okay, so our header is a bit weird. This is not supposed to be here, as you can see. So let's just go back and try to fix it, huh? So we are done here. Our page is ready. Let's just go to the dashboard. Okay, so here in the templates, see the header. Let's edit with the. Okay, so this button here has this. So I'm gonna just make it default. And now, yeah, now it's better. Let's just update it. Comparing this one and this one, you see here something happened. So we have the background all over here, okay? But on the page that we're built, this is not happening. So the reason for that is that we forgot to do some editing here. So we have to make it repeat vertically, and then also we want to make it not covered. And then let's just update and see the result. Okay, now, yes, we have the same background, just comes down, we have these fun elements, you know. So next in line is the footer. Stick with me. We're gonna make it work. We can. The footer is easy. It has 4 sections. It has the logo and about us, very short paragraph. It has another menu for people who have come way low in the web page and they just want to go up again. And then it has a newsletter, subscription form, and an Instagram feed that takes our photos from our beautiful Instagram account and brings them onto our web page so that we always have up-to-date pictures there. And then we have the subfooter, general copyright information, and then we have the social media icons. That's it. If you can make this, I promise you, one day you can make better web pages. Let's go. So this is the footer. We want to recreate this. It's pretty straightforward. Now I'm going to show you how to easily, really easily recreate this footer. So let's go back to the save templates and add a new one. Type footer. Easy footer, huh? Let's keep our morale and continue. So I'm like, no, I just want to make my own footer. So just leave me alone. We come and try to build our own footer. It's almost as easy as the other ones that we've done. So we made this, and then we're gonna drop another inner section there, and we're gonna make the column a duplicate and another duplicate. So let's just make it black. That's better. And as you can see, it's a long one, so we need to make it longer. So let's just come to the headings, the section settings, and set it at a bit of a longer one. Yeah, like this. 500 will be okay, I guess. Okay. Columns will be fixed from the bottom. So let's come to our intersection. We want them to get fixed from the bottom, but we also want them to have a distance from the bottom. So it's not exactly there. Okay, this is, I guess, enough. 100. So let's start by adding our first element. So I'm going to add a logo here. Now notice that this is not the logo that we want, so we normally added the other logos there. So Now it's working. So these columns are not equal, as you can see here. Some of them are a little bit longer. So I'm gonna just go ahead and make this one 26%. And also I'm gonna add a text here. Change the color to, it's pretty much what we needed to do. So I'm not gonna change this text here. We can actually go ahead and copy it from here. So I'm gonna copy this text just like that, and then just come here and just click. See here, if you do this, you don't have to deal with any kind of complication. Just paste it and it's there. So here you have to give it a different kind of line height. I'm happy with the result. I'm not gonna touch anything else. That's almost everything I have to do. So in order to make it work the way it should work, we need to add something called a flex spacer. Voila, we have it. Let's just first check the second column. The second column is a bit tighter, I can say. So it's 22, let's just make it 20. It's 24, let's just make it 22. And then next thing would be adding a heading. Let's just add this one. That's Jupiter. And make it H4. See, it's already done for us. I'm gonna write site map. We see under that there are these pages. So I'm gonna create the same thing. So this is done by an icon list. So the first thing that I have to do is that I need to remove the icon. So I'm going to just remove these and then try to make this one look exactly as the example. So the text color, first of all, should be just like the other one, 88888. And when it's hovering, you guessed it, FF5600. So now it's happening exactly as we intended it. Just let's write our /home. And now I'm gonna add more items, the same qualities. Just gonna change the text. Great, now we have all of them. Now I add this one too. Then we want people to subscribe to our webpage so that we tell them about all of the awesome things that we do in our restaurant. We just need a form. Now this one says, I'm going to change that to newsletter, and then I'm going to add a form. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to remove all of these and just keep one. And this is not a name, this is an email. And I'm gonna change the placeholder to email address. And this one's a bit wide, so I'm gonna make this an 80% thing. Okay, submit button. We need an icon for this. So let's check which one it was. Yeah, it was this one. So I'm gonna check this one. And obviously it's not visible, so we have to make this smaller as well. Yeah, now it's working, I guess. Yeah, so let's just remove this one. Now we have a very cute little button there. Let's just go to style. You don't want any space with the columns, you just want it very tightly there. So as you can see, this title is really up there. You have to give it some space. So first disable this one. I'm gonna go ahead and give it like 20 points. That's okay. Maybe a little less. And also the text color should be same as the other ones. Also, remember here what we did? We made it like 175. We should have this consistently done in all of them. Well, 175 would be an absurd amount. of line height. Never do that. I'm sorry. You have to see that, but it's gone. So we're okay now. We're good. Let's come to the other parts, the field. So we want the field to have 0 background like this, and we want it to have a border like this, and just have 1 for this. Okay. We don't want any border radius here. We just don't touch it. Yeah, here I'm gonna change this to. I'm gonna make it a bit smaller. Yeah, that's much better. Yeah, we're getting there actually. So as you can see, we don't have any of these. So select, checkbox, radio, and so on. So we have only the button to take care of. The button has to be a little higher, like 58. 60 is okay, and make sure we put 0 for here, and here we have the typography. So this one affects the size of that thing. Let's make it bigger, and I'm going to change the icon color to our beautiful orange color, and I'm gonna just go ahead and disable this. So I'm gonna also add another spacer under that. Yes, that's it. So we now need to add only 1 more heading here, and change this to Instagram feed. Okay, and then I'm gonna add my Instagram element. I'm going to check this to become my photos. So we're basically going to let everything else be there, and then I'm going to disable this one, and this one. So let's just make items a bit closer so that we add bigger pictures, and make the padding 0. We don't need any padding there. So we have some overlay here. Now see, this is what happens when you hover over the photos. So it's already here. It's just not exactly the way that we want it to be. First we give our color. Okay, now I'm gonna just give it a bit of transparency. This is softer and better. The first one was really harsh. I think we're done here. This is really nice. It's working. We don't need anything else. And the only thing that we need to add is now this one. So we're going to add that too. So we need to add another intersection. I'm going to delete this. Not delete that actually. We check the subfooter. Yeah, we have actually 2 columns here. So I'm going to make this one smaller, and this other one bigger. We're gonna add a text editor, and I don't have time to write this, so I'm gonna just copy and paste it here. Make sure you copy paste it here so it doesn't get any weird links or stuff. Okay. All right, this is what we have now. So we just need to link this one to artbees.net. And okay, also I need to change the color. Before that, the whole thing, has to be 888888, and now I need to change the color for this link. So we toggle this, and then you see here, you can actually add your custom color. FF5600. Do this so it understands that you're done, and then it's almost done basically. I'm just gonna check the fonts here. Okay, let's just change it to our favorite font and give it a size of 16, and let's just give it a height, proper height, like 2.5. Yeah, this is good. Okay, so let's just go ahead and add the social icons to the other part of the subfooter. Okay, so you see they come and they show that they're disgusting. They want you to feel bad about your life. And they always, they just look so cute in the example. So this is what we're going to achieve here. Well, don't panic. It's easy. First of all, I'm going to change this one, fit this one, and this one has to be Pinterest. I added it. Maybe need another one. It's Instagram. Okay. So these guys are so big. First of all, I'm gonna make them smaller so that they fit. Okay, much better. Need custom colors for them. The first color would be this. I think we just destroyed the whole thing. I'm gonna go ahead and just make this the way I want it to. Now I think we have it. So now we have the hover, and when we want to hover, we want it to show us the orange color that we've used all around the web, all around the page. It's working, and you can actually see here we have the Twitter first and Pinterest second, like this. You can actually change it so simply. Actually, the Facebook is the last one. Also, let's make them left aligned. And last but not least, let's add a background image for this section. Now I have successfully made it happen. So let's try and see our footer and compare it. So here we see something weird. I guess it's about the amount of the amount of margin I gave for the lower part of this. Maybe we can make it like 75. Less than that. Maybe we can make it 50. That's it. We just did it. Let's publish our work. And then we'll have a look at that beautiful footer that we created. Great. Before we finish, I need to show you something here. So you see this Instagram feed that we created here. It won't work if you just put it there. You need to do something, and first you have to come to Jet Element setting, then Instagram options, and then here you need to add a token that you get from Instagram. As you can see, there's a link of where you can get your token. So if you don't do this, your pictures won't show and you'll be really, really frustrated. Something else I would like to also tell you in a closing note is this one. So when you come here and you choose this one, so you need to choose them from here or choose default. Otherwise, the things that you did in the customizer won't take effect. So you should just know that if you don't do this, you're gonna change things there and it's not gonna work. It's really gonna drive you nuts. You will not be able to make your website look the way you want it to look. I'm guessing that's it. We have our page now. Let's just go ahead and choose our own footer. The footer that we made should be here. Yes, it's our footer. Yay. Check it here. See, awesome. Our footer is here. So I'm going to publish this. I'm going to go back and I'll go to pages. So the home tool that we created here, let's just view that. Welcome, this is our page. We just created this page and it looks beautiful. Nice. And that's it. We just created a modern landing page for a restaurant using JupyterX in today's crash course. We covered setting up the essentials, navigation, header, hero, body, and finally the footer. If you have any questions regarding any part of the course, just go ahead and watch it again or post it below in the comment section. and your master will answer. Do not forget to hit the subscribe button below and stay tuned for the next JupyterX crash course, which is coming soon. Bye.